When it comes to the birds and the bees, there's a lot of confusion about the right age to start fluttering. Many people assume there's a universal age when it's appropriate to begin exploring sexual relationships, but the reality is far more complex. And guess what? The law doesn't make it any easier. Legal systems around the world have different standards and regulations, which can be confusing and sometimes contradictory. You might be surprised to learn that the age of consent isn't a one-size-fits-all number. In fact, it varies widely depending on where you are. It varies from country to country, with some places setting the bar at 14 and others at 21. This means that what is considered legal in one place might be illegal just across the border. It's important to know the laws where you live, but even more importantly, to remember that age is just one factor. Legal age is a guideline, but it doesn't account for individual maturity or readiness. Just because someone reaches a certain age doesn't mean they're automatically ready or willing to engage in sexual activity. Emotional readiness and mutual consent are crucial components that can't be overlooked. Consent is about much more than just a number on a calendar. It's a continuous mutual agreement that requires clear communication and understanding. It's about open communication, understanding boundaries, and respecting each other's choices. These conversations can be challenging, but are essential for a healthy relationship. Remember, a healthy and fulfilling sex life is built on a foundation of respect, trust, and enthusiastic consent. Without these elements, any relationship can quickly become problematic. So before you hop into bed with someone, make sure you're both on the same page, legally and emotionally. Take the time to discuss your boundaries, expectations, and feelings. This ensures that both parties feel safe and respected. Educating yourself and others about consent and legal ages can help create a more informed and respectful society. Workshops, counseling, and open discussions are great ways to spread awareness. So let's keep the conversation going. Understanding and respecting consent is a lifelong journey, and it's never too early or too late to start learning. Now let's talk about premarital sex, shall we? It's a topic that has sparked countless debates and discussions over the years. This is a topic that's been debated for centuries. From ancient texts to modern-day forums, people have always had strong opinions about it. In some cultures, it's still considered taboo, something to be ashamed of. The weight of tradition and societal expectations can be heavy, but in other parts of the world, it's as normal as ordering pizza on a Friday night. The shift in perspective can be quite stark. The truth is, there's no right or wrong answer when it comes to premarital sex. It's a deeply personal decision that varies from person to person. It's a personal decision, and what's right for one person might not be right for another. Each individual and couple must navigate this terrain based on their own values and beliefs. It's all about what feels comfortable and ethical for you and your partner. Mutual respect and understanding are crucial. What's important is that you approach the topic with an open mind and have honest conversations with your partner about your values and beliefs. Discussing boundaries, expectations, and feelings can help both partners feel more secure and understood. Remember, communication is key in any relationship, especially when it comes to something as intimate as sex. Open dialogue fosters trust and intimacy, allowing both partners to express their needs and concerns freely. So whether you choose to wait or not, the most important thing is that the decision is made with love, respect, and mutual consent. After all, every relationship is unique, and what works for one couple might not work for another. Embrace the journey together, and remember that understanding and empathy go a long way in building a strong, healthy relationship. Let's clear up a big misconception, shall we? There's a lot of misinformation out there, and it's time we set the record straight. The hymen is not some magical membrane that breaks the first time you have sex, leaving behind a trail of glitter and confetti. It's not a party trick or a rite of passage. I know, you've probably heard all sorts of crazy stories about it. From urban legends to myths passed down through generations, the hymen has been shrouded in mystery and misinformation. The truth is, the hymen is just a thin piece of tissue that partially covers the vaginal opening. It's a normal part of female anatomy, but it's not the gatekeeper of virginity. And guess what? It can stretch and tear for a whole bunch of reasons like exercise, tampon use, or even just plain old stretching. Everyday activities can affect the hymen, and that's perfectly normal. Or even just plain old stretching. It's not a one-time event. It's a part of your body that can change over time. So the next time someone tries to tell you that the hymen is a reliable indicator of virginity, you can confidently tell them, "That's about as accurate as saying the Earth is flat." It's time we move past these outdated notions and embrace a more informed understanding of our bodies. Now, let's talk about something that really gets my knickers in a twist virginity testing. This harmful practice, which involves examining a woman's hymen to determine if she's had intercourse, is not only inaccurate, remember our chat about the hymen, but also a violation of human rights. It's often rooted in discriminatory beliefs and puts immense pressure on women to conform to certain societal expectations. We need to put an end to this harmful practice and empower women to make their own choices about their bodies and their sexuality.